we have our maps, though. So let's go and decide which maps we're going to play on in this best of 3 series. Remind you, as always, BO3 means ban, ban, pick, pick, ban, ban, and then decider. That's how it works. That's how it works at LAN, and that's how we're going to get it. Border picked by forZe, map 1. Bank picked up by PENTA as map 2, and then a decider on Villa.
So, okay, Border, Bank, Villa. We're really trying to get same first letter for each of these today. We had Consulate, Coastline, Clubhouse, but just shy of that third. No option for the third B, though.
But then it's fine.
Yeah, it's completely forgivable.
BV, as an Arab, it's fine. It's like the same thing as well.
I don't get it.
It's like the pronunciation.
Oh, okay. Now I get it. But yes, we've got our maps done, and who's going to win? Why don't you, of course, the deciders of who actually gets to win through this community vote, why don't you just tell us who it is going to be?
Illuminate us. And it's the same.
Wow.
What?
It's the same.
It's correct. Right now, production's like, yeah, this is total richtig. This is correct. 2/3 for forZe and 1/3 for PENTA. A mirror to what you guys thought in the first game. And if chat and Twitter is anything to be believed, we might be looking at a repeat.
I mean, we're going to find out, guys. We'll load into the match. It's going to be map number 1, Border, picked by forZe. So they will have the advantage of setting up that tempo early if they can manage to get the win here. And PENTA, I'd say, you know what, honestly, though, PENTA, as much as it's weird for me to say this, just outright, PENTA are a more formidable team than Sisu. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Yes, I have to say.
Sisu didn't get a single win through a whole season, man. And, PENTA managed to get 3 wins, 2 draws. Not terrible. Well, okay, no, it is terrible. Not amazing, but it's passable, you know? They got 11 points. They were 2 points away from not even being in relegations. PENTA has a fighting chance here. I don't think we're going to see what we just saw again. If we do, it would be a really, really sad day for the lower bracket of European Pro League. Well, I guess we'll find out. If it is another stomp like what we just saw, then you know what that means?
What?
It means European Pro League is just going to get, like, straight upgrade.
How is it going to...
It gets even more intense. It gets even more intense.
Imagine that last season, we were about to be wheeled out of the studio to the hospital on account of heart attacks because of how close EU Pro League was getting.
Yeah, no G2, no Empire at the season finals.
Imagine that with forZe and BDS entering the fray, it can get better. Even
more intense and closer.
How? How is this even possible? Thank you, Europe, for always proving me right. I don't know what to say. I'm just proud.
I don't know how I feel about that argument. But what I will say is that if this... Yeah, again, that first match, I should say, BDS taking over for Sisu. As much as I'll miss Sisu, it's weird to see them not there. I do think that, okay, there we go. That's one step up. I think BDS are going to be giving us some pretty intense competition in Pro League over the next season, considering how one-sided that match was.
Yeah.
It could also be just the case that Sisu weren't playing at their height, the way that they were playing a lot of rush strategy, so maybe that's the case. Either way, BDS welcome. Now, here and now, forZe versus PENTA. A lot is going to be determined in the early rounds, because we do know PENTA is a momentum-based team. We say that sometimes to try and describe teams that can be emotional.
Yep.
So if PENTA starts struggling early on, I can foresee forZe just
running away.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Thank you. But no, I mean, we're not there yet. So let's just wait and see. Now, it's going to be a very extensive roam here from PENTA. We'll be starting an army, of course. Shockwave going for the very common pre-fire there on the long angle into office. Shockwave. I'm not on Empire anymore. You know what? I'm going to Pro League my own way.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. And if you guys remember when, right before Milan, well, like a month before Milan, when Dan was picked up, well, Dan came from this very team here, forZe.
Yeah.
Janix, actually, or Janix.
Janix.
And it's going to get one kill.
It's confusing because we have so many J's that are Yan, but then Janix is Janix.
The exception to the rule.
Yeah.
And there's the grenade, and it catches him. Enemy gets flung across the room, and Shockwave collects another. Janix is done.
There you go. So, good start for Penta when they managed to get that first kill from Janix, but, you need to get it, Blaz, and there it is. He commits, and he is successful. No cutoff on the rotation there from Shockwave, but he might get it yet as he sprays, and he'll actually down Blaz, though he doesn't know it. Of course, a reminder for those who don't know, no point notifications, so Shockwave just doesn't know that he's downed Blaz, and there will be a pickup from Yvonne.
The site is completely open now. There's only the smoke there, and this should be a telltale here for forZe. They can pounce and find the smoke on his own, but this will give a lot of time for Penta to ferry Blast and Ravon back onto the site. Now, the bonus for forZe, if they didn't get anything, is at least to have Blast low on HP, which they probably don't know about right now, and the fact that they've been able to open up the walls. There's nothing stopping them. The Bandit was already eliminated ages ago.
Yep.
It's the beautiful grenade, but the opening is definitely here. Grenade is thrown in the back, and it will not connect, unfortunately, here for forZe. Kama's watching. Might be Nitro Cells to be played from below, and I believe Ravon is aiming to do exactly that. Yes, he does have the Nitro in hand.
So good positioning from Ravon. But there's a minute for forZe, so they don't have to rush their plant and fall victim to that C4 if they are smart about it. Here comes the initial plant attempt. C4 not being placed. Oh no! It doesn't seem like there's information on this plant, and forZe now easily in a post plant. Huge lack of awareness from Penta. Pasha eats some damage there, and Shockwave on half HP, so this is not unwinnable for Penta, though it's not an ideal situation, and easily avoided using those gas canisters and C4s. Shockwave takes down Blaz. Final bullet there to finish off his work. Hungry will rush into Fountain and take down Shockwave, but he's got to find 2 more. Kama on Repel about as safe as it gets, and Pasha on Vent Balcony. Now he's on low HP, so this could be an easy kill, but he's playing it really safe. A run out there from the Valkyrie of Ravon, not going to be able to get the initial kill, and there's the finish off for Kama and Pasha. forZe take round number 1.
A nice try from Penta Sports to bring this one back. Unfortunately, because forZe didn't know that or Shockwave specifically, didn't know that he had downed the Legion, it caused them more problems later on in the round as the Valkyrie very intelligently dropped the hatch and went down to support her teammate, but I'm back up even to 20 HP, but with no information, the Nitro Cell advantage could not be used. The plant was set, and it was more than enough time for all of the attackers to fall back, and this is the beauty of it. When you have 3 attackers, you can watch the 3 avenues that you can get assaulted from. One is just set on the rappel, and you know if somebody's diving in from downstairs because of the impact hole that had previously been set by Bloss's Legion. Second one, in Fountain, to watch the holes that you opened yourself, and one of the 2 avenues you can get shot by. And finally, the last one on Ventilation, where you are safe from anybody hitting you from those windows, and you're the last line of defense should it come to that. Every time a defender tried to pass by and get to the diffuser, as you saw with the smoke, he got shot, chipped off here and there. And because nobody could support him, there wasn't much that he can do. That was the round.
Now, really, it all comes down to the fact that Penta did not deny the plant when they had the tools to do so. And that's rough. I gotta be honest. A lack of awareness, a crippling lack of awareness from Penta. They're gonna have to, of course, do better on that one moving forward. Now, it's only 1 round, but again, the momentum matters here. Motions are important. Penta are going to be holding on to CCTV on their second attempt at an armory defense. It's going to be, it's like Janix setting himself up there solo, actually, on the CC roam. It was dangerous. Usually you'll have a duo roam in CC, if any. And you take risks when it's just one of you. It's a nice Claymore there from Shockwave, so that's going to catch a defender off guard, as it's an unlikely place to put one. They're not going to be taking control of East Stairs. That is evident by the fact that they put that Claymore there. They're instead just going to wait for, or try to bait out a run out. Ooh, bad coordination there from Kama and Pasha. Unlike the last round, they just shot one of each other's drones. It was Kama shooting Pasha's. Unlucky, but it happens.
Well, now, Penta at least have to be happy with that drone taken off, even though they can't see it. It's a hidden bonus.
It's something.
It's an Easter egg.
Yeah.
So, even though we're in Halloween, that aside, it's a Halloween egg.
It's a thing.
It's somewhere.
We're making it a thing.
We're making it a thing. There you go. We're making history here. WTG, what he's looking for is destroying those bandit batteries from below. It's a very common strategy, very easy to pull off. You don't even need to put yourself in harm's way, as you see there. And that's a very odd reinforcement, the way that it's placed, because it doesn't actually cover the hallway. So I'm surprised that this is how Penta went, or what they went for when it comes to putting it down, but the batteries have not been taken off just yet. You can just bounce a frag grenade around the corner, flashbangs to make sure that it is all clear, and that should be the end of the line for the Penta batteries. There you go, and the Habana will proceed to break the wall.
Janix, though, going to be punishing forZe for trying to open up that wall. He will eliminate the Sophia downstairs. Kama will refrag onto enemy. A little bit late there, but it's in. That kill, very important near the main wall. Now there's a little bit of stalemate here. A little bit of hold off. Rask is a big player here because he's going to be cutting off the rotation from the sandwich rappel. You can see that he's put one of his air jabs down, so anyone who even tries to peek that angle is going to lose outright to the air jab. Not much they can really do about that other than maybe impacting or C4ing it. Blaz will get Shockwave, though, downstairs. And I believe that was actually, yeah, he's playing downstairs. He's got a C4 as well on the Mozzie, but he'll be eliminated by Rask on Repel. It's a really good refrag from Rask. He's doing 2 jobs from that position. Pasha's looking to grenade the player at half wall. Not an easy job to do. Kama going in for the push, and he'll actually pick off Hungry. There's no one watching. A double for Kama, make it a triple overall. And now it's just Ravon. He does have a C4 for the denial, but he's got to time it perfectly. There it comes. There's the detonation. We didn't see it because of spectator bug, but nice shot from Ravon. Air jab puts him on the floor, though. He can't do any more. And forZe, 2 in a row.
Wonderful air jab there, set down by the Nomad. And unfortunately, because you couldn't catch Kama as he rotated closer to the half wall to go for the second plant here. You can't do much. The Nitro Cell went out to hit default plant, but the Habana was not in that spot. It was a bit further back, so it didn't connect. No damage was done to Kama, and he was able to scurry away and go for the plant on his own. A 2-0 here for forZe. Penta tried to recover every round. They find a pick here and there, but it's not concrete enough for them to solidify around victory, at least in the first 2 here. So where will they go? They'll go to Fence and Workshop. No more Armory, at least for now. They have to hold on from the top floor, so very similar to what they were doing here, but instead of requiring to stay on the top floor, they can just peel off bit by bit. They're bringing the smoke here, Hungry. Again, one of the most effective smokes in EU ever since he entered competitive play a couple years ago.
Yep. Hungry is well known as a titan on the smoke. And again, similar to Sisu, it'd be weird not to see him in Pro League if that should come to pass.
Now, what we think is like, even, I don't know if you agree with me.
What's this?
On this, but even if we have both Sisu and Penta relegated today, I think there's some players that might find spots on other teams in PL. Maybe they would fit a role that a Pro League team requires. There's some that have massive pedigrees behind them as well, and a ton of great performances throughout this season.
I mean, if the teams don't decide to try and grind through Challenger League, then yeah, I could see players going and saying, what, I'm gonna go look for a different squad.
Yep, it's possible, and it might be necessary for the ones that want to stay in PL.
I mean, we're already seeing hints of that. Like, if you're diligently watching Twitter.
Yeah, right now you'll be seeing some hints.
I'm not going to give you any hints. You can go check out Twitter for yourself. So, yeah. But yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying.
There you go. Get it.
Very interesting stuff to watch unfold as this relegation day ends.
So, WTG on the reverse repel. EMP grenade has been thrown in to deny Janix's bandit batteries. This has allowed the Habana of Kama to slowly open up the entry into the archives room. So, right now, the task for forZe is clamp down on Armory and kill at least 2 players in this assault, and don't allow the entirety of the squad to just rotate back down to the basement.
It's interesting that we see forZe commit to the office take 2 rounds or 3 rounds in a row. Now, no, not 3. 2 total, not in a row. But it's interesting how frequently they're doing the office take is the point I'm trying to get at. It's a less frequent attack strategy in general. One position known to the attackers, it's Hungry's inside of small office there. And Blast is actually, meanwhile, going to be the first one to die. It looks like by 90, possibly at the bottom of metal stairs. wherever it was. Good pick off there from Shock. Grenade comes in from Pasha. Can't land that one, unfortunately. It's his second time missing that grenade. An odd angle for him, I'm sure. Possibly because of the shield. Maybe he's not used to that being there when he's going for that name, because you can see he's practiced it before. Ras going in for the push, and he's going to lose the fight to Enemy. Well played there. Enemy landing the headshot, Shockwave the follow-up, and he'll lose it as well. Enemy with the big plays, playing at half wall. WTG going to finally do some damage to Enemy, but not enough to get the kill or the down. WTG can see the head of the smoke there, but he can't land the shot. It's a really difficult angle to actually win an engagement on as an attacker challenging that.
You know he's there, and he spots the side, but no, you have to hit the head or the body, and Enemy peeks out at the right moment, actually. He finds one kill on Kama. Hungry is the one to use all this commotion to his advantage, and Hungry gets another. Just forZe getting so frustrated to push people outside of this, I want to call it the bunker now, not just the armory, because they were holding town, and it just looks like a strong fortress. One player fell back down to Workshop to support from there. They lost Blast when he was coming up the metal staircase. But otherwise, Penta just kind of held on, and forZe just ran into half wall.
Yeah, and that's thanks to Enemy's efforts that we saw Penta manage to take that round mostly. We've seen people play half wall before from Penta, but not as assertive as what we just saw from Enemy. He was confident in taking those engagements. He won them heads up 3 in a row. That's just impressive. Even at one point, he was being challenged by 2 people at the same time. He managed to win a fight against one before dying to the other. Impressive job for Enemy, truly. Good cover from Hungary as well. Gotta give him credit. And now, Penta fight back. They managed to put a round on the board. It was in ventilation, though. They're going to have to actually win on armory in order to win the map overall. If they only win ventilation, that means they're going to end this half 2-4, which is not great.
So a start here for Penta to fight back, and the signature play from Penta Sports. What is it? It's a clash, and we will be seeing. I was very, thrown asunder in the very first round, and even the second one in Armory, to not see the Clash being put in play by Penta Sports, but here she is.
Clash has been a staple in the relegation matches so far. I've heard from people that she's becoming more popular. It's just a delay factor, mostly. It's it not only forces certain picks out from the attack, but if you don't bring those picks, then she delays even more effectively. And here and now, forZe have only decided to bring 2 things. They've got the nades, which are good, and the air jabs, which are better, but they didn't bring the Zofia lifeline. And I gotta say, the Guzmats and the Zofia are the best tool to deal with the Clash. You put her shield to the side, you shoot her feet. It's really easy.
So there's Ras getting the first one on Janix, so that's at least the Jaeger taken off of play. And really, when it comes to a Clash, once she's left on her own or kind of isolated with nobody in support, that's when she becomes kind of useless, and it's very easy to deal with the operator in that way. The EMP is going to be thrown in here to allow the Habana to maybe open up a deeper hole into Fountain, but Rask will be setting up an air jab regardless here in case one of the defenders would like to go for a cheeky flank later in the round. He's actually going to get a bit more pokey here on the side of the armory wall. And as you said, I mean, this is an oddity for a lot of teams because forZe is going more consistently for a take from the archive side of the map, but I like it. A lot of teams just kind of force themselves to go into the main armory wall.
It's working. It's working for them pretty well. They have managed to get the leadoff pick here as well, and that's a really good start. They haven't detonated this wall because of the mute jammer, but the nade just now is going to destroy the mute jammer, which is going to allow for the wall to be opened up. So good job there. They didn't even need to rotate their Thatcher. I didn't hear the Excaros detonate. Did they?
Did the nade hit?
Did something deny the Excaros is the question. Kama's going to get taken out there on engagement at the top of the main staircase. Ravon will get the refac right after onto Ravon. Well, actually, Shockwave kills Ravon. So good job there to Shockwave. But yeah, I'm not sure. I can't tell if the wall's open or not.
No, it's not. The Excaros just kind of sat there. And
the
the mute jammer got destroyed, but it was too late.
Did they?
because Kama went for the gunfight and he got killed.
I swear I heard him detonate the X-Scaros before he made that push, but maybe not. Whatever the case be, forZe no entryway into the site other than the door itself, so they're going to have to challenge directly, but they are able to do this because Pasha is doing a great job of distracting the last defenders. Air jab downs the Clash, but Shockwave with the TK before getting the last kill there onto Blaz. Shockwave, some big plays, so kill hungry, he manages to kill his teammates.
That's technically a 3K, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, he managed to get 1 earlier, so 4.
4? There you go.
Total. Good job for him.
So here we are. forZe recover the round off of... This is what we were talking about. One mistake can really prove detrimental for you.
Yeah.
Had that wall just stayed closed because of Kama's exuberance, over-eagerness for a fight. I mean, he was just shot by the Legion that was playing at the top of the metal stairs. That's okay.
Yeah.
But he was caught off guard in that location, and he was just waiting for the grenade to destroy the mute jammer. And literally 1 second later, we see the drone from the sledge passing through and showing us that, hey, actually, it's done. And we don't know. Maybe this was a bug kind of thing. We didn't hear anything in chat. We don't hear anything from admins. So we want to say that it's not. It was just an honest mistake. We forgot to click the button. But recovery. That was the name of the game for us. They're getting close.
They did a good job. Whatever the case be with the X-Stros, they did a good job of recovering. They're going to be bringing the Hibana once again. No Thermite. You know, it's funny because Thermite actually commonly gets banned on Border. He's like top 5 banned attackers on this map. So to see him not played by forZe, they clearly have a preference. They're sticking to it. Enemy's going to be bringing the Bandit. No more Mute, so it's going to be an attempt at denying through the electricity. The question is, will forZe attack Ventilation and Office, or are they going to go for Armory CCTV? They could do both. They've proven that already. They haven't actually lost an attack onto Armory yet. It's been a pretty one-sided affair so far. Not done yet. But they have shown they have some bite. That one Ventilation defense they managed to win. Mostly thanks to Enemy and Hungry. The Clash being brought here from Ravon yet again. He's going to be using it by the Fountain. Wall over on Triple is already opened up. That was pretty quick there for forZe. Pasha's efforts, I'm sure, on that sledge, as it is a soft wall. Surprising that Penta aren't reinforcing Triple Wall in Office, considering how frequently forZe are attacking into Office. There's only a Hibana being brought. If you reinforce Triple, attacking Office is really hard with only Hibana as a hard destructor.
So here's the grenade out, and that should be enough to destroy those Bandit batteries. Another grenade being cooked, but to hit the player actually playing in that position, Enemy will force back just a bit as he takes 25 damage. Shockwave peeking around, and he's got some info on one player in Fountain, and there's support for Blast using Ravon.
I really like that instead of trying to open up the Archives wall, because there's the Bandit batteries there, instead of just dealing with that, they're going to open up the Fountain wall, because they know they could punish 2 players who are playing Fountain right now, and they can get kills like that one. Shockwave on a long angle into Archives, thanks to the X-Scaros that holes, will manage to get the first kill onto Enemy. Impact frags there.
Enemy got shot in the back as well from the Legion of Blast. So that definitely does not help. Now to confirm the position, WTG will go for the jump here, the slide, and Shockwave is prepping another Gizmot, and it will go off, though nothing to be done to the Clash. She's a brick wall, but Blast makes the mistakes and moves around, and it's WTG to get the kill. Rask will find another one, as now Ravon is low on HP and is on his own. Hungry. He'll be able to take down Kama. There's the team kill from Shockwave to make sure that this round actually goes their way. They drop the Clash on the floor, and WTG will go for the finisher to spot the side of the arm. Hungry's last. He's flashed. Rask is peeking around every corner. He fires in through the wall. And finally, Hungry's found. That's the round for forZe.
Great job there to forZe. Once again, they pick apart Penta. So that was really interesting. I love how quickly forZe adapt. Couple things there I really want to note. One One is that we saw the Hibana opening up the fountain walls. Now, that punished the position of the Clash and the player who was actually stuck in fountain itself. So, lots of work done thanks to that fountain wall getting opened up. Really good awareness, good call from whoever decided to make that, probably Kama. After the bandit was killed, they also managed to open up the archives wall with the last set of Excaros. That's one thing Hibana can do. She can open up 3, whereas Thermite can only open up 2. And she can do it at a distance, which they were leveraging very hard. forZe, following opening up all those holes, they really just set up on the angles, managed to pick apart Penta by winning gunfights that Penta weren't ready to challenge. There were not a lot of ACOGs on the side of Penta. These long-range fights went all the way of forZe, and then at the end, forZe swoop in, collect the final kills, and round over. Penta need to actually put some kind of stop in play. I mean, I say they need to. They should have. This is the last round of the first half, and we're going to Ventilation, which is the only site that Penta managed to win. And again, I said if that was going to be the case, it would end 4-2. Well, we'll see if Penta can win Ventilation again. But I wouldn't say that's a sure thing. Now, anyway, to finish my point, I would have said that Penta need to start making changes to how they defend Armory in one particular fashion. They need to actually counter what they're seeing from their enemy. It's an office take a lot. Okay, well, reinforce triple wall, hold office.
Yeah.
But we didn't see that. I mean, it was 4 defenses of Armory, all unsuccessful. One of them was an Armory wall take. The rest, straight up ventilation. Or sorry, straight up ventilation office, to make it clearer. And forZe are, again, they're committed to office. It's not even an Armory defense. They want to clear in through there because they feel more confident in their take.
So now, how do Penta recover from this one? And historically speaking, Penta's attacks have not been as effective as their defense. So, something to keep in mind. Maybe this is the time to change through with this, but at a 4-1, forZe are looking pretty. And remind you, this is map number 1. We still have potentially 2 more to go for. The possibilities definitely up in the air. It's not been decided. If you're a Penta fan watching this game right now, Pasha will open up the entryway into Archive, and WTG is going to be watching through the Excaros holes that they just opened up. And just like before, Rask and the rest of forZe had a tough time to try and enter into Armory and deal with the players, 3 at that point, playing up top, having that shield, both the smoke and the Jaeger of enemy. Now in this case, oh, there we go. There's still one more player holding in from the metal stairs, and the Excaros will be expended and destroyed. So this forces Shockwave to use his own Guzmot to impact the castle barricade and take it away. I like the play with the castle barricades. It gives you more space to maneuver around, but also forces the attackers to go through a lot more of their utility. Just waste as much as humanly possible. Keep in mind, if you're the defense here, you're playing an Armory, you can still fall back and drop down the hatch into servers. It's not over. You can continue the fight even when you're in exile, so to speak. Pasha continuing to drone in to give information for his teammates as they burn away the ADSs, allowing for grenades, but no, it's WTG to take down Hungry. An enemy taken away as he has so many angles to watch for. Janix as well, off the board as Kama peeks through the hatch in Archives. And now Penta have lost their footing. Blast and Ravon, last 2 alive with 25 seconds.
I mean, forZe didn't just take top control and get 3 picks off of it. They took top control and then turned it into 2 picks on the anchors. Now it's per flop.
Okay.
All right.
5-1.
All this round. I don't have much else to say. As soon as forZe had top control, round was over. You know, usually we will see on this defense an attacking team actually take top control. They'll get Armory, they'll get off Archives, and then there'll be a pause, like a 30 to 1 minute long pause before the attackers start hitting the site and the anchors start getting punished. But that wasn't the case in this last round. forZe just peaked everything, and those just won the fights. I guess Penta weren't expecting it. They weren't prepared for it. I don't really know what else to say. Like, I'm not shocked by the fact that Penta were punished in terms of the top floor hold. Like, that's not crazy. We see that a lot. The roamers upstairs didn't get away. They couldn't delay for long enough. They didn't get a single kill off of it. Fine, okay, that happens. But the thing that really is taking me back here a little bit is the fact that forZe then turned that immediately into site pressure, into 2 picks onto the anchors, into flawless round before we could even finish a sentence. That was a dominant round if I've ever seen one.
It really is.
So now moving on, 5-1 first half. Now Penta have to just be hoping that forZe are really good at attack. And maybe they're bad at defense. That's or I don't know. This is looking pretty one-sided right now. This is looking a lot like our first match of the day. Not quite the same, but that's what it appears to be.
Well, pray for anything you believe in.
I mean, yeah, do that for sure.
Hopeful
in any context.
For Penta fan, yes. Skulls for the skull thrones, as they say. So.
For the WOG.
Yes, for the WOG. But that's Rask waiting in. He's waiting to just munch on Penta as they enter.
Yeah. That might be deceptive, but that's a bullet hole. Those are bullet holes right there.
Yeah.
So that's not obvious to when you're peeking it. It's a really, really hard to see hole from the. Look at the other side.
The angle.
Yeah, it's the angle. You got to look at it from the other side because it's harder to spot on the side that's not broken. But don't worry about it. Just take my word for it. The attack for Penta right now looks like it's gonna be an arm retake. They're clearing out CCTV. Yeah, see, you can barely see it.
Yep.
You can barely. You can't challenge that as an attacker. And you can see that Vlad is doing it from rappel because that way he can position his head somewhere where it won't be obvious to Rask. And the wall will get finally opened up, so it's not a bullet hole any longer.
If you shoot enough bullets in it.
Yeah,
Pasha checking his cameras. Pretty sweet one here. A bit more difficult to hit and destroy unless you put yourself in a more favorable position. And Shockwave's been spotted. I'm not sure if he just ran out against Hungry. This is not the time to get over-aggressive and over-eager force. You want to finish this ASAP, but they have so much flexibility when it comes to rounds that they can dump away until they're in the red. And Janix is going to be moving in here in the break room. Enemy throwing his stun grenades to burn off ADSs in the small desk. This will allow Blast to set up his own grenade, and it will go in, bounce around the side. It'll force WTG back, barely graze him here. And he's going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's going to hear the diffuser coming down, fire a warning shot, and fall back.
He can deny through the wall with his smokes, so he doesn't actually need to peek that. It's curious that he's even trying to peek that. He'll die to the nade from Blaz, and Ravon on the entry will actually take down Rask as a player by the half wall. There's the peek, though, to deny that plant. Enemy down, and there's another for Pasha as he picks up 2, a third on the floor, and a triple for Pasha. Enemy downed, and he'll be the 4th for him. It's going to be an ace the way this is looking. Hungry's on low HP. Pasha just needs to land a single bullet. There's only 25 seconds, so Pasha knows exactly where Hungry is going to go in this situation. Pasha set up perfectly to lock this out. He's going to wait it out patiently. The pre-fire and the ace! A 1 versus 5! When do you even see that?
When Intero's not casting, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Pasha with the ace retake against Penta Sports. Diffuser halted, and he fires away, and just perfect positioning. Nobody from Penta able to... He literally took 0 damage in all of that.
That round was over.
Man, he is made of pure bone that has only been fed calcium for the past 20 years of its existence.
I don't understand.
0 frickin' damage.
0? What?
I
don't usually like to even say stuff like that, but like I am really astounded by the level of
mistakes.
The amount, the quality and the quantity of the mistakes made there by Penta.
6-1 of the scoreline, and forZe, they might be the 2nd seed coming into this, and Penta being 7th in Pro League. My God, the Russians are kicking some booty here. And a reminder for Penta fans out there, that Penta will be playing in the French national finals this weekend, the Paris Games Week. They have Giants, Vitality against them. They also have one team that I don't remember the name of because I haven't seen them in even CL.
Penta does technically have 2 French players.
And they also play with a third French player.
Well, they have Crunch as a substitute.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
He plays in the French league with them, specifically for this.
Crunch has got to be, yeah, because you have to have a third to even play in this French league, right? So yeah.
Crunch he's a very young player, but because he's French, he's had a lot of experience playing in French lands as an underage player, and it gave him the confidence to play in.
Is he underage?
No, I think he's almost there.
He's no, he's 18.
He's 18 now, but he played for the past couple of years.
This man was born 2001.
Holy crap.
I was born in 97. Now I feel old.
I was born December 21st, 1993, and here we are.
Well, anyway, moving on to this match. Yeah, Blaz up close here on the shield. This is dangerous because his position has to be known. That the footprints or the steps you make on that metal staircase, so loud. You would be able to hear it if I wasn't rambling.
It's just Penta have to walk up this.
Yeah, it's dangerous. I mean, because the thing is,
0 top floor control.
That's the thing. They need to take top floor control in order to hit the site.
They're trying to rush this by only trying to delay this play now. And finally, the shield is taken off, but more goo mines will be thrown in. All the holes have been pre-prepped by forZe for specifically this sort of scenario, and that's exactly the one that they get. So all the cards are really falling into spot. It's just like it is crazy. Penta's affording forZe so much space. Over half of the round has already gone down, and there's 0 pressure being put on the top floor by Penta. There's no time to clear the top floor anymore, and not with Blast eliminated. Pasha, beautiful play for the T5.
Putting down those traps, but he transfers perfectly to just getting the kills. Annex will manage to take down Rask, so good kill there to Janix, but he's going to have to do more work than just that. There is one player known to be in workshop downstairs that's in the site for forZe. That's been spotted out. Pasha trying to get more top floor control, and there you go. Hungary goes down in the site. Pasha doing great work, but Kama from behind! And Pasha adds to it, it's done! Good halves come out in the chat. We'll be moving to map number 2. It doesn't even feel like we finished map number 1. It's over! How does it... A 7-1?
It literally took us 35 minutes to finish this game. Not only just this map, but go through the pre-match talk, through everything.
I don't even feel like we're done, man. This feels wrong. Like it just went too fast. Guys, these matches today are to decide where your careers go. Like long-term, like really long. Pro League seasons are 6 months. This is deciding where you are for the next 6 months. Why is that a 7-1? We're only 1 map into this, but I am upset right now.
You're there, Michael.
Okay, well at least it was forZe's map pick. You know, maybe we'll get a battle in the second one.
Honestly, how much is the devil paying you today?
What? Oh, Devil's Advocate. Yeah. No, I mean, no, listen, because here's the thing. I just, I want to see, because you come into your relegation matches, and what you think to yourself is, this is going to be some intense stuff because of how high the stakes are. But we're not getting that. Let's look at the highlights. Let's talk about what's been happening.
What's a great grenade?
There's not much to say about what's been happening other than
forZe just kind of...
It's the same thing as what we saw in the first match.
It's like forZe are playing Siege and Penta are playing forZe.
Defender has been discovered.
Yeah.
It's a game.
What game is it?
It's a racing game.
Oh.
So it's like they're playing completely different things.
They're playing different games. I get it. Yeah.
It really looks like it.
Yeah, it does.
The one round that Penta were able to get is literally they hunkered down and held on to Armory. And it was because forZe got so frustrated that the Smoke of Hunger just kept bopping up and down and they couldn't do anything to him. And enemy just collected kills by half wall and Armory.
So, okay, I wanna explain my frustration a little bit more here. Now, first of all, really good job to forZe.
Yeah.
I have to give them credit. They deserved that win. They earned it. They looked absolutely ruthless. Unstoppable is the word I would use.
Yeah.
Would put up to PENTA in that map. So serious credit to forZe. I don't want to take away from them. They earned it. They deserved it. Done. But the thing that's tickling me funny here is that, boy, we're not getting much competition out of PENTA right now. And it's just weird.
This was Pasha's ace.
Oh, yeah.
Is the description of why or how this game was so ridiculous. It's like, oh, he literally has full HP as he took down 5 when he's all on his own.
Technically, he only killed 4 because 1 was downed, but he killed all 5, right? But
It's done.
Yeah, it's done.
Over.
Yeah.
And then the flank came and the Valkyries sang their way to heaven. That was forZe in map 1. We're still not done.
I want to see competition, Ghassan.
I want to see an actual.
I want to see competition. That's what we're here for.
It's like you're a commentator and looking for something to actually commentate.
The problem is the build-up, right? Because like we see Pro League matches where you've got like Sisu versus G2 or something like that, right? We see, oh, okay, you know, there's an expectation, but going into today, you expect it to be so much more because it's relegations. It's so important. So I can only hope, for the sake of competition, that next map, since it is going to be PENTA's map, will be a little bit closer.
It's bank.
We'll see when we get there.
It's really for all the money, literally.
Yes, for quite a lot.
Yes. So your careers are on the line. It's not like it's an easy fight. We talked about forZe's performance. They made it. They qualified the Rally Major off of the backs of wiping the floor with Vitality and Chaos.
Yep.
They got to Rally. We're like, oh, of course. It's so hard. They made it to the semifinals. We're like, okay. They literally did not even play in Challenger League.
Yeah.
They had just qualified.
And again, I will highlight this. Everybody I've talked to recently has told me that forZe are getting even better than they were at Raleigh. So it's
how
they're a powerhouse team right now. It looks like, and I think that they're going to have a really good competition, a really good season if they get into Pro League. If we're not fully finished yet, though that does look like an all but certainty at this point, based on what we saw from that first map.
Yep.
PENTA will have to change so much in this next one in order to change the overall outcome. So yeah, no, there's a lot behind forZe right now. A lot of fans. I'm assuming they're practicing really hard because the rumblings I hear about them getting better are coming from you know, behind the scenes, and it definitely looks like that.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like that. So we're gonna go ahead and load in map number 2. This is PENTA's pick. So are we gonna get competition? That is the question. Are we gonna get that close match that we all hope for? PENTA, you know, because here's the thing. PENTA are such a good team to be putting up what we just saw. You just don't expect it from them. I know, guys. I know they finished 7th in their region and they're in relegations for a reason. But PENTA has got the players, man. They've got the players. Enemy, Ravon, Hungry, Blaz, Janix, and yeah, Crunch as a sub. Even these are formidable players. These are big names. People that you expect to be in Pro League. And it is going to be weird if they are not. Oh, band phase coming out here. Look at that. We got something to talk about for this next map. Capital and Habana band out. Here we go. And who's going to be next? Maestro. Okay. Now you can almost bet. You're going to see a Mira ban on Bank. If Mira's allowed on Bank, oh boy, is it going to be a weird map. Mm-hmm. It could have happened, you know, but it's unlikely.
Well, a reminder that the CL prize pool was increased before Invitational.
There it is.
So people will get a bit more cash.
Was it 10K for first? Something like that.
I think it was like 73K per region.
Wait, really?
Per region.
But yeah, but 10K for first, right?
I think so, something like that.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100%.
It's a decent.
I'll go check it out.
And that's the thing. It's a decent chunk of cash.
Yeah.
You get to sign on to a team, but everybody already in EUCL is with a team.
10K for first.
Most.
6K for second. 3.5 for third, and 2,250 for fourth.
Yeah. So I mean, you've made 10K looking at this if you're BDS.
And everyone makes some.
Yeah. Everybody makes a bit of cash.
A little bit. The least you get 750.
Yeah.
But that's for 5 people. So.
Yeah. So Kekkonakopteri, if you factor in how expensive it is to live in Finland, that's like driving to the sauna level of cash.
Finland? It's Finland. I don't know they have the sauna in their own house. I would imagine
Dude, they have so many. It's like every person. It's like there's a sauna for every person in Finland. It's insane. I love sauna.
Is it an actual statistic?
I think it's something close to that. I remember looking it up, obviously after conversation with my Finnish buddies. So how it usually goes. But that aside, let's see if forZe will be able to cash in for the big prize of this one here.
Yeah.
Not only the victory on Bank and their second spot in Challenger League, but the biggest prize of them all, making it to the next Pro League season. That's where your contract pays you more.
Yeah.
That's when you secure advertisement for your organization for 6 months at least, and people are happy with you. They give you money. You're happy you can play professionally. That's the bar, and Rainbow Six has been at the spot where if you're in Pro League, you're making enough cash to live, which is pretty massive. I mean,
that's the upgrade.
Back in my days.
Back in my day, as I would say.
Yeah.
You know, back in season 1, 2, and 3, I didn't make any money.
Joke's on you.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
So long ago, though. And yeah, no, pretty much the standard for Pro League is a livable wage at this point. So that's nice.
Yeah. I'm glad.
That's good.
Of course, the increase in prize pool for Pro League has like up to 626,000. That includes playoffs
it's
and
not even including majors too.
Yeah, and that's only Pro League.
If you're
majors, DreamHacks, all of that.
If you're like the top 4 of a region in Pro League, then you're pretty set for going to majors too, which is that's where the real big prizes are. No. So anyway, lots of motivation for everybody here, and that's where the frustration I was talking about in the interim between maps. That's where that comes from. It's like, come on, you got to be pushing for that.
One thing I do like in this assault here, though, from PENTA is that Blast is already taking control server.
Yes.
So he can push back the smoke, and the smoke can't really reach that far of a distance with 2 shots.
He's trapped.
Yeah.
WTG is trapped right now between a rock and a hard place, but he is a good operator to hold on to his by himself. He's got the smoke canisters, so he can use those to deny a push from one angle while he holds the other. Deny a push from the top of stairs while he holds the bottom of stairs is what he's going for here. That's smart. His main goal here is His main goal is going to be to use his shotgun smoke gas canister. I don't know what's going on. He's trying to delay. That's what he's doing here. Now let's see how many kills he can get with this gas canister. Oh, there, it's fixed now. We're good.
We're back.
It's a spectator bug anyway.
It's like playing TF2. But here we go. WTG is up above his shield. The Rask will find Ravon, but the Claymore will down him as there was that extra Brook armor on top of him. Kama will find Blast, so opening up one side of the server. Now this might be time for WTG to walk in closer to the Thermite. Have they forgotten about him? There's 3 players left, and there's nobody pushing close up to WTG just yet. They're just holding on to Janitor. WTG will get dropped. A huge play here. An enemy will find him. Rask is down on the floor, and so is Kama. So it's all up to Pasha to hold on to this against 3 players. One of them extremely low on HP. Look at the time. So little left. Pasha can hold on. There's a nitro cell in hand. Oh my. All it takes is 1 nitro cell to be thrown, or a couple bullets here and there. Can he find the gun? No, he cannot. There's nobody spotted. He has to drop in and go for the gunfight himself. He gets no, he gets the wrong one. Gets the second, but the defuser's already down. No more ammo left in the Roni. And the round is saved. Janix. He's done it. He rotates all the way up. And oh my. You have to feel this if you're Pasha so close. Yet so far.
That's about as tense as it gets. I cannot believe he didn't put the bullets in the right body. He didn't deny the plant. He had an opportunity, threw it away. Oh, It is infuriating to watch. Nice clutch there from Janix. Very close.
Honestly.
Oof.
Like, good God.
That was there. That was a really
He dropped down and we're like, he's got it. It's done. It's over. And then...
It looked like he had it. It did. But not the case. I got to say, again, big plays from Janix. Saved it.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Another thing, that is going to help out Penta so much. They needed that. When you get a teammate like Janix, when you get him picking up that win there, just barely managing to edge out his enemy, then that is the sort of thing that actually will bring you back into a match. It can save you from the brink of destruction. So big win there for Janix. Good job to Penta taking round number 1. Nice plant. Good control. I like how calm they were in the last 15 seconds. They opened up the wall. They went for the plant. They knew it wasn't exposed to the drop down. They knew they had lost control of the drop down. And they were smart. Nice. Nice. Good job to Penta. It's good to see.
5 seconds
Also,
remaining.
that round, definitely a great argument for using the commando.
Must locate and defuse the bomb.
100%.
That's when the question of commando or Roni.
Yeah, that's the command. You want to know, any of your friends go, hey, which gun do you use on Mozzie? And you say, I use the commando. And you're like, why? You just link them a clip of that round. Pretty much good summary there. He ran out of ammunition.
Both guns are viable, of course.
I'm just messing with you guys.
But, yeah, we
I
are.
switch between both of them. They're both
too.
great.
They're both great, but that's the disadvantage of running the Roni. You trade off those extra 5 bullets for better recoil and control. So...
Was it 10 around there?
5.
10 bullet. Really? Okay.
It's 25 to 20.
That's right. Oh, okay.
So here we go. Okay, that's a good entry.
I thought it was 30, man. I must be.
We're
I'm
so
delusional.
used to just having
Yeah.
30, right?
It is a common thing. Yeah, no, that's a good leadoff pick, like you said. Pasha's gonna need some damage early on there. He'll fall back.
Yeah, there we go. That's the Roni. So again, sticking to it. Pasha's taking a lot of damage. It doesn't matter. You've taken off the roam clear, and Janix is trying to find a kill. There's a lot of pressure being put in here through electrical, but you can't really find Rask can deal with him. Ravon is taking so much damage. There we go. He's dead. He's down. Nitro cell goes off, but it doesn't really matter. The kill has already been collected, and Penta are left 2 down.
Oh, there's another one for Penta, though. Or actually, the first one for Penta. Correction. Shockwave goes down. Pasha is on low HP, so this is not it's not impossible for Penta. They can definitely make it happen. It's going to be a nice damage put out there onto Rask as he exposes himself for just a moment. You can see that Penta are trying their best to collapse on these open area roamers. And that's the crazy thing, is they're still clearing out roamers. There's 2 of them here. They cannot drop, actually. They've isolated themselves in the corner. And great shot from Janix, but he won't get the second. As you can see, Pasha has managed to wake his way back to the site. forZe now, even man count, and they've used a lot of utility. I'm wondering how many gas canisters they have left. WTG with 2 left will be a big player when it comes to the actual site take.
So little time left. 2 is still a pretty good spot to be in. Enemy, does he have breaching charge, or his thermite charge? Should have one to use, as Hungry takes off the shield, removes it from play. Now we'd love to have the sledge to open up the wall here, and it's exactly what you have. Just a couple of hits and you're good to go. Thermite should be opening the other side here from the server wall. There you go. That's exactly what he's going to go for. Kama on for the pixel angle peek here. Something we see a lot of Maestros doing, but the Rook does it real well. And they're both going to come in, and WTG collects enemy. It's 1 drop. There's still Janix and Hungry to come in. Janix picked off as he runs into the ACOG of Kama, and WTG firing away as Sledge survives just for a bit longer. Doesn't matter though. forZe will play the same site the second time, and the second time they'll be successful.
Yeah, it mostly just comes down to the fact that Penta were strapped for time. They weren't playing the drop downs because they couldn't. And because they're not playing the drop-downs, basically forZe have full control over the angles. They can challenge any angle they want whenever they want. That is exactly what happened. And forZe managed to win it because of that, because Penta really didn't have a lot of any kind of control over those angles. What needed to happen for Penta to win that is really simple. They needed to challenge directly into an angle that was being held by forZe and win the fight do, of course, have that little bit of peeker's advantage, but it's still a hard fight to win when you're on pixel angles like the ones that persist or that exist in abundance down on the basement of Bank. The ones that we saw forZe using there towards the end. Now, 1-1. Penta managing to chip away one of those basement defenses. That's really impressive for them, but forZe has locked the round out that they needed on that bottom floor hold. The bottom floor is going to play, I think, a big role in the future of how this map plays out overall. And the fact that Penta have managed to, again, get that one is really big in the long run in terms of round count. Because the Penta might not ever win another attack onto the bottom floor. It's possible that they won't. And if that is the case, then the single one that they got is going to give them chances. It's going to give them opportunities moving forward. It's going to be a CEO defense now. forZe are setting up for C4 from below. You can see that they've got Kama positioned downstairs and tellers. And he's going to have cameras over by Square, or Skylight, as some people call it. I don't call it that, though, because there's, 4 Skylights. Over by Square. And that's going to allow him to C4 people at the top of Square. Because that's actually all soft, by the way. Or not all of it. Almost all of it.
Yeah.
You can C4 pretty much anyone at the top of Square. It's a really powerful place to C4. You can also deny the plant from below. Just in general, on a downstairs roam, or a middle floor roam, I should say, as a Valkyrie here. Really a lot of options.
Yeah, you can do a lot of work from the ground floor, and it all requires just a bit of information. You have so many players from your team that are just left in and around the site that you don't really need direct cameras to give you info on it. You can just hear and get that info from your teammates. That's a repel from... Okay. You
Wait, what?
don't really see that.
I just...
Hungry is on...
What?
Yeah, you don't really see this.
This doesn't happen.
No.
It just doesn't. Because it gets punished so easily.
Well, there's Janix here to support, I guess. So let's see if there's somebody will be punished. Yeah, it's Rask, and he's going to get picked up. There we go. Back on pretty much full HP. It's 75.
So he set up to nade Rask, and it worked?
I'm not sure if that was the intent, but something did work.
No, he couldn't have naded Rask from that angle. It must have been somebody just shooting him, but damn, that is a weird occurrence. And on Banana is Janix already, and he's got angles into sight now as he takes out Shockwave. He's got good control from that position. And until he gets shut down, he's going to continue to lock up these defenders. Blaz adds to the tally, and there's the nade from Hungary. Rask gone, and forZe are falling apart here on the CEO hold. Penta really applying pressure in all the right places. Here comes the push up the main stairs. Pasha will punish it. He manages to chip away one player on Penta, which is definitely valuable in this situation. Now, WTG and Pasha are both on full HP, but WTG is gone now, and Pasha's going to have to ace. But he's done it before. Can he do it again? No, he cannot. A nice attempt, but Penta, what an execution. Not only is that well executed just in general, Penta did a great job on their push, but also... It was kind of innovative. You don't see people rappelling on that skylight. That just doesn't happen. And the times that it does, which is I could probably count on one hand, gets punished.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It worked. I'm not sure what the actual effect was because we weren't directly spectating the sledge once all the commotions started.
He got a nade from it.
But it worked. It got him into the site, and that's what matters at the end.
Yeah.
2-1 here for Penta Sports. They take the lead for the first time in the series.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, because Penta managed to get one round in the last map, and it was 3 rounds in. So, good job to Penta putting themselves up. Will we get a map number 3 now? Is the question racing through my head. If we do get to map number 3, it will be Villa. It'll be interesting if it comes to pass. Now, moving on. Seeing a good performance from Janix so far. 3 rounds in, 6 kills total. Via CEO defense again. Okay. Nothing too crazy in terms of changes here. Pretty much the same lineup for most teams. I don't imagine Penta are going to give us the same attack strategy. But they could. I mean, it wouldn't be an upset necessarily. It'd just be another, hell, that's odd. Yet again. I kind of like it, though. I like that Penta's trying to work something into their attack that other teams just don't. Gotta respect that. Even though I think it's a terrible idea.
Yes.
I still think it's a terrible idea.
In this particular moment,
It worked.
It did the job.
Woo!
Yeah, people. I know a lot of people would go out and say, you know, if it worked, it's not that stupid. Well,
I don't know if
I don't agree with
I don't know if it's...
it's just the sentence. I don't mean specifically this. I'm not describing it.
Right.
But a lot of people say this sentence, and I
Right.
disagree with it completely.
I don't know. He's doing it again. Kasani's doing it again. But will it work?
Spider hungry.
Oh, he missed.
Okay.
So the grenade launcher there, the impact launcher, I guess, the like flying, it has a significant drop there on the projectile, so you have to aim a little high.
Yeah. Thank you for that class. R/ Siege Academy.
Attackers recovered the defuse.
Now enemy knows. Oh, Hungry gonna get the lead-off kill there into Shockwave. This repel is working great for Hungry. Okay, so here's what's happening. Here's why this repel is great. By the way, we're just gonna
Grenade. Let's go.
Oh, he's ready to nade it. He knows he's there too. He knows there's somebody there. Here it comes. Will he land it? Oh, the drop.
He did land it technically,
But the drop.
but Rask is already downstairs, and Hungry is on to your shenanigans, Rask.
Oh, but he
Knows
misses
you're
the
there.
shot.
Half HP taken away, but Rask should be able to escape back to the opposite end of the map and have the Valkyrie cover him.
Yeah, so what I was going to say there is the reason Hungry's allowed to do that is because Penta are clearing out the main lobby before they put him on that rappel, which means he's not exposed to very much. They're also joining out tellers and archives, which means that they don't have to worry about a roam downstairs, which means that Hungry can just focus on taking heads-up fights against people in the site. Ravon, meanwhile, going to get a kill. There was one as well for forZe. I believe it was Pasha. He's looking to get more. Holding this angle from meeting. Not an easy angle to hold, but as a doc, he can heal himself back into the fight. Penta with a man advantage and great control here from Banana. Now, forZe do have Square as a fallback position that they can use for control, but Pasha is going to be a real problem if they don't deal with them soon. He is in a great spot to just pick up a few more kills as Penta attempt to transition into the site take.
So now, Pasha's watching. Bulletproof camera was set up, so should be able to give him info around this top Kanto spot, I guess. And he's down and taken away. Okay, Hungry still is doing the work. It leaves WTG and Kama as the last two alive, but see WTG shot and being pushed very aggressively by Blast and enemy. Only one alive, that's Kama, but he can stop it. He's got a Nitro Cell. Does he have the info? Oh, yes, he does, but Zofia going to change spot. He's right in the middle. Fire! And he gets it! Yes, he does! Kama! Beautiful play to hit the Nitro! We talked about it before. That's a ground floor play with a Nitro Cell, and kablooey. There she blows. Imagine that. 4v1. And that's what happens.
Oh, man. You know, yeah, we're going to show you replay of what just happened there. He came off of the plan because he had been marked. So, fine. Enemy, you can do that. But you can't do it with so little time left. And that's why.
Operators, you
It's
have
rough.
run out of time.
It's rough.
Attackers
Round
need to locate and
gone.
defuse bomb.
Thrown away. Great save there from Kama. His team, I don't know if they're in the same building, but even if they're not, they've got to be virtually patting him on the back right now. Kama, as happy as can be. And Penta, on the other, that's a tilter. Oh boy, that's a tilter. That is a 3-1 lead. Just we're updating you on the community vote because it actually has. Apparently, it's still open after the match starts.
Maybe there's. Let me check. Actually, are there?
It's
other ones?
it started at 66-34. Now it is 77.
5 seconds left.
So there is a second poll right now.
A second poll.
Asking, will Penta Sports be able to bounce back, or will forZe steal the map, seal the deal on map 2? Hashtag R6BL. Make sure to tweet at us at ESL Rainbow 6. Hashtag R6BL. Make our social media manager Bartek feel very good about himself and very happy with the work that he's been doing.
He does great stuff. If you're wondering who it is that does all the meme stuff that happens,
It's ice cold.
it's Bartek.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's really good at it. Now, Here and now, Penta putting up a great fight. forZe, they got with a 1 round, man, off that C4. And that is the sort of round that you look back on after a 7-5, after losing a 7-5, and you think to yourself, we would still be in Pro League if we hadn't lost that. That round might just fill that slot in the future of Penta. But it's not a guarantee. It's just a theoretical situation. We'll see if that theory plays out. Right now, Penta taking control of the top floor. They've done just that. Good efficiency, only took them about a minute. Now that they have top floor control, they can start focusing on the site. The reason they did this so thoroughly is because they were worried about the potential roam. And we did see a roam upstairs. Last time forZe defended basement, if you recall, there was a late flank from them. In fact, there were 2 late flanks from forZe. And it did a lot of work for them. So Penta just are having none of that. And whoa, that's a really risky play from Shockwave. And it's...
Okay.
It doesn't work out.
Why would you do that?
Stop. Good question.
So that aside, mistakes were made, and the Valkyrie will be lost. So Vaughn is watching, and as they rotate back into the site, forZe lose Rask. And that's another one down the Jaeger.
So Penta are really, I think after those 2 kills, they're starting to realize, you know what? Darn, guys, if we cut off rotations from forZe, they really don't know what to do about it. I mean, the first kill was Shockwave taking unnecessary risks, right? The second kill, that was just Rask trying to hold on to server, getting cut off before he could get away by the drop down. I mean, that's typical stuff. Good plays there. And it's, you know, standard fare for Penta. But that's got to instill a lot of confidence in you if you are Penta. Now, it's not all over for forZe. They aren't out of this yet. Smokes are coming in here. Denial to answer the gas canisters. There could be a C4 in play on the Mozzie when he's going to have to bring it over, and yes, there is. So this is the only form of denial left to forZe. The nades come out to try and... the C4's gone now! The nade is perfectly placed. Enemy planting the diffuser. Blast will cover onto WTG, and now it's post-plant. Kama the last one, and Penta will get a flawless round to end that one out.
How is this happening? This is a bounce back.
It does seem like that.
Penta being so frustrated at the situation that they just go mad with rage.
It does appear to be the case that Penta are really they're comfortable on bank. We can say that. They have some innovative strats. I really like the way that they attack the CEO.
Correct.
I also like the way that they're hitting the basement there. That nade was timed perfectly in tandem with the smokes and the push and the cover from the drop downs from Penta to just allow for ease of access and ease of plant.
Hungry has been hitting his shots, grenades, smokes, everything today. It's when necessary. Hungry always does that.
You know, Hungry's been going through a rough patch, not in terms of like as a player, but just in general. He's been going through a rough patch, and
yeah,
and the fact that he's, you know, it seems like he's having a little bit of a bounce back here, right when it matters. And I got to give him serious credit for that. That's, you know, kudos to Hungry.
Bomb located by
well then, let's see if this changes for Penta Sports, if this continues to go the way for them as forZe. What are you doing?
Wait a minute.
Why are you shooting WTG? Shockwave. Come on, man. Like,
what am I watching right now? Why is he still getting? He just got downed.
What?
Oh, he was bugged. Why didn't they just call for a rehost? We're in the prep phase.
Come on, man.
It must have been bugged or something.
5 seconds to go.
And yeah, he can't move. This is rare. Very rare.
What kind of?
All the rehosts.
Why didn't you call for the rehost of the prep phase?
Come on, man. Oh no, it's
okay. We're good.
It's okay. It's okay. We can revive 20 HP. Come on, man. Like,
we're waiting for the admins to call it.
There you go. It has been called. We'll have the rehost. You just call the rehost.
I think they're not. Maybe they're not used to. I don't know, because they should be. They put Challenger League all through. Had a good record in it. Maybe they've just never encountered this problem before. You gotta learn somehow. But yeah, call the rehost in the prep phase.
It's a very rare bug to have.
It is. And again, it's totally okay to just be like, hey,
rehost.
Rehost. Be assertive with that. I know there was a lot of teams who had to learn that the hard way, so that you can actually just ask. You can be like, hey.
And we can see it. Like,
we can't play.
Live show. We can literally see this bug.
It's like, what are you playing at? What are you doing? No, it's obvious. Don't worry about it. But we're going to do a rehost, and we will replay that round. It'll still be tellers. The operators will still be the same and all that stuff, but we'll replay the round.
So here we are. 7-1 victory for forZe on map 1. That was their map pick, and you said it. Maybe Bank is the one for Penta.
I mean, it would be a 4-1 right now, if not for a single C4 from Kama. Let's be honest. Like, and that C4 was, it was rough for Penta, but they're still keeping that lead. Gotta give them props for that.
So let's get this game on the road. We're gonna call back all the players and put them back into this custom lobby.
As soon as we can.
We can get back into the game. But yeah, as you said, if it weren't for that Nitro Cell and for the victory that was very close and narrow downstairs in servers, it definitely would have been like Penta running away with the game on Bank specifically. So they've come into their own. This is definitely a map that they're more comfortable on. And
obviously.
I definitely am expecting a third map with Penta's resurgence now.
Yeah, the way the Penta are playing, they have practiced Bank a lot more than they had Border. I think Border is something they're just not comfortable with. We're gonna run through some highlights while we talk about this. But yeah. Oh, again, here's that clip. You need more ammunition, man, and that's why. In that situation, Commando might have made the difference. But you know, again, they're both great guns. Can't go wrong, really. Anyway, yeah, we've seen some pretty impressive stuff from both teams so far, and I think it's just going to keep getting better. This map now is making me hope that we get a third map, just so we see like the full extent of what this matchup could be.
Hungry with some ace grenades today, that's for sure.
Oh yes, absolutely.
He's been putting up the work. forZe have had a couple team kills here and there, but overall it's really been Penta leading the way on map 2, and this is it. Kama was getting the information.
There it
was
is.
a Falcam that he has pre-placed upstairs. Pre-fire from the sledge to push him back, but unfortunately everybody from Penta was just so focused and so tunnel visioned on planting and finding a spot for it that they kind of forgot that, you know, that can happen. But our game is about to get set, so you'll go back to us for just a second here. We're going to make sure that all the settings are correct, and then we'll be set to go back into their matchup. So right now we're on round number 6, and forZe are still on the defense. They called for the rehost. They had a tiny bug. It's okay. We should be back into the game. You have to pick the same operators.
And the same site, so we know what everything's going to be.
Yep.
And as soon as we actually get everything going, there we go. We'll finish out this map. We'll see what comes of it. So far, it's looking like Penta are doing a great job on Bank. This is a match. This is competition. This is what we wanted to see in map number 1. We're getting it in map number 2. The big problem for Penta is that it might be too little too late. As much as this is competition, forZe are not out of it. They aren't done. They aren't defeated. So, yeah, okay, Penta showing up in the lead, no less. But doesn't mean that they're going to get a surefire win on this first map. Sorry, in the first half on the second map. Rook has been a staple for forZe. It's really interesting that they're going to continue to bring him. He does not see a whole lot of play in comp, but forZe have been bringing him continuously. They've also been bringing Doc quite a lot. ACOG's relevant in the extreme on Bank, of course. Looks like it's going to be an open area kitchen hold on Teller's Archives. Now, the benefits of open area kitchen are that you can hold the site from off-site, and it forces the attackers to clear out more than just the site itself. The drawbacks of open area kitchen are that you are very vulnerable to a plant just inside of Tellers. There are spots that are safe from the angles. For example, if Penta managed to clear out the main staircase and the player that will be playing on the bottom of main stairs, then you could just walk into Tellers and plant. Done. Really easily. You can hold it from open area, of course, but, I mean, we do have smokes on the attack. It's possible to deny visual there. It's possible to just get a really easy plant. Another drawback is that top 4 control is uncontested from the defense.
Yeah.
The reason it's uncontested is because they need to put so much manpower into holding open area and kitchen. And that's going to allow for Penta to insert themselves into the top 4 very early on. Now, a nice benefit of an open area kitchen hold is that vertical control is not as relevant as it would be if you were defending just in tellers and archives. It is, though, still relevant, and it will play a factor here for Penta in terms of site control.
So they have so many holes here opened up for us
Oh, this is
for
big.
rotations or for just locking down spots, and this is the one that you need to open. This cuts down on rotations.
Yeah, it cuts off a lot. I mean, not just rotation, but also site control. I mean, the defenders who are trying to hold on to tellers, their job just got a lot harder. That's a really big exothermic charge. So Penta clearly aware of how this strategy works. It is considered a pocket strat. It is not often brought. But forZe are trying to change how these tellers' defenses have been going. They gave up on CEO. They didn't give up on CEO. They won it. I forgot. They just barely won it. But yeah, they're trying to make this one work for them.
So even our brains are like, oh, did they actually win that one?
Yeah, didn't really seem like they did, but they did.
Well, Pasha has taken a lot of damage here on the Clyde and will be forced all the way down to Garage. Blast is watching, but he's not finding anyone just yet, and Hungry has top floor control. This is really the most important part of this assault, making sure that you have the lines of sight as the attackers, but that DG is so close here, and if you can find the kill, he spots the one player in the back, and he's looking for the kill. There you go, that's Hungry out, and another enemy might have done his work, but he's down, and he cannot be used as a hired gun later on, and Ravon finds 2 kills, huge here, with the last 3 of 4s, 2 of them being so low on health.
The crazy thing is that Ravon just got that kill through the floor, through his ceiling. Shockwave getting aggressive, but he'll be taken out by Janix, who's pushing in through the other teller's door. Pasha and Rasker both on low HP. Only 10 seconds left, so the plant has to come down now. But oh, the denial! Once again, Pasha, great spot to deny. And it doesn't seem like Penta can get the kill or the plant as Pasha denies a second! forZe! They just can't be planted on. And they'll take another round that they surely should not have been allowed to take. That's going to put us at 3-3 out of the first half. It was supposed to be a 5-1, Ghassan. And it's in 3-3.
I have to say, forZe are so resilient, and they're fighting back. They're fighting back every single opportunity possible. That impact was cash money. That really was a great catch.
Yeah, I mean, how are Penta not covering their plant like this? I mean, the first one's forgivable because it was an insta down, right?
They weren't expecting the impact.
The impact was an insta down, fine. But man, I mean, why not just plant by printer too? Must have been they were worried about the main stairs control because you can get shot from main stairs if you're planting printer. Maybe the little the little separator was broken.
Half of it was open.
Yeah, so if half is open, maybe they're just afraid of that. I get it.
The separator was actually completely open in that case.
You didn't have archives control, which means you got to be wary of archives, which means plant somewhere safe from archives, behind the cash bag wall, behind printer. Oh, it's rough. That's rough. Feels bad to be Penta. Yeah, it's a 3-3, but that is definitely that whole half. That should have been, guys. That should have been a 5-1 in the first half in favor of Penta.
Yep. I don't know.
Rough.
I don't know how that worked.
Well, let's see how Penta does on the defenses. I'm going to be going to the bottom floor first.
So the big story is Penta now on defense. forZe are looking to take this back. We haven't seen any aggressive plays from Garage or any pressure put from Garage this entire matchup so far on Bank specifically. So maybe this is the time that we'll get to see that. Penta falling back on the tried and true, very functional plays with the Pulse and the Clash on the basement. It's the definition of a turtle style play, but it's required in this case. That's what Penta are comfortable with, and they are very effective on their defensive side. If their attack is anything to look at when it comes to Bank, there might be a spark of genius to look forward to. So Shockwave will scan in for the second time, spot the Pulse. You know he's already there. In the meantime, the Maverick is taking his time, opening up the hatches. Here's Thermite also on the board. Remind you, Hibana is banned, so no flexibility when it comes to destroying every bit of the hatches. But he should have enough. No, that's a bit too little for.
Was he Yeah, well, I mean, you can still make holes in it.
Yeah, you don't need to open the entire thing, which is fine for this hatch.
So if you're really efficient with your breaching torch, you can actually open 2 hatches.
Yeah.
It requires efficiency in practice though.
It's 2.5 canisters per hatch.
So you have to get it like, just about right.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of room there for a little bit of wiggle room, but not much. So it's still an attempt to clear out the server here for forZe. As you can see, it's being hard held by Penta. Janix, though, will go down, and enemies next to die. What? And finally dies there, but at least one gets taken away. That's Ravon onto Pasha. That's a good kill there for Ravon, but he's refragged upon by WTG. Now it's just Hungry, suddenly. The server hold, costing 4 players to Penta. Oh, okay, and there you go. Hungry, peeking into WTG, who finishes him off. So the defense is not going great for Penta to start. It was a really tight angle there from WTG. Yeah, nice shot indeed.
So, good position there. Even with the new headgear, I think he's playing the elite headgear.
Is he playing? No, I thought he was playing the Halloween one.
The Halloween one?
It looked like it. I could be wrong.
It melds really well with the chassis of the diffuser.
I mean, we could talk about how there are many skins that meld very well with many different things.
Yeah,
but you know,
let's not talk about the volcano in the room.
I mean, it's not even it's not even just how some of them blend with the walls. For me, it's also target identification. That's what. Remember when the yellow skins came out? Like the yellow ones for the event from Bartley came out?
I killed the lion.
Wait, no, it wasn't the lion. I don't know who it was. Well, I mean, the lion was...
Hibana?
He always has the backpack, at least. But the point I'm trying to get at is, like, yeah, sometimes when one is, like, you throw on the yellow skin and suddenly, I have no idea who that is. I mean, this isn't a silhouette game, you know? Like, there's a lot of games out there. Like, remember TF2? You could just tell who it is by the silhouette.
Yeah, because they're so distinct.
It's so distinct, right. This isn't one of those. I mean, there are, of course, silhouettes, but they're not as obvious. It's still kind of like everyone's wearing tactical gear, and so when you change an entire color of an operator, sometimes it takes you an extra like millisecond to identify, and that could be the difference in a lot of things. So
gunfights really come down to that because guns really do a ton of damage. It's, usually 3 shots and you're done, right? So
well, yeah, I was actually. It's funny because I was talking about this on the way here. I was running the stats in Latin America.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
We're looking because Latin America, we keep track of their headshot ratios and their kill death ratios, and I noticed that the headshot ratio almost never correlates with the kill death ratio. Often we'll have someone with a terrible kill death ratio and like a 70% headshot ratio. I'll just be thinking to myself, yeah, nobody. You don't aim for the head anymore, man. You're even torso level these days, and you adjust into the head if you can get it.
Yeah, because you always crouch in before you go for the gunfight, and that's when you just end up hitting the body, and it's still a 3-shot, so you're good to go.
Most people, at least in Latin America, who have the highest kill death ratios, also have really low headshot ratios. Anyway, moving on. We're going to see a defense in the basement again from Penta. And they once again will be bringing the Clash.
And Rask is doing this really, really well, I have to say.
Yeah, and good efficiency here from Rask. He's practiced this well.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't see it.
He's around 2 1/3.
2 1/3, 2.5. All right, so it looks like he could get a second drop fully open if he plays it right.
If that's what he wants.
It doesn't necessarily want that, but we'll see.
Stares angry.
So funny to watch. Zap. Looks like he's just going to try and open up that little hole there on the side, like last time. So the Clash is definitely a hurdle here for Pasha.
There's no Zofia, and that's really the big deal with it.
Yeah.
forZe will able to just somehow drop in and fight, but this is why you saw WTG dropping off, because he's going to be the one that'll come in from sewers, and that's the extra player that you need. So the flashbang, unfortunately, does not hit at the right moment. The Jaeger peeking around to the wrong spot as well here, and more damage being done for free in exchange between the two. Janix finally eliminated. Pasha, great play, and he tries to rush right into his opponent. This Kama drops on in. You don't want to lose the Thermite, but there you go. He finds the kill regardless. No losses so far for forZe with Hungry and Blast, the last 2 alive. No matter how this goes, I don't think Penta want to be going through this again. The smoke being used to glitch through the floorboards and Shockwave will be eliminated, but that's at the cost of big piece of utility, and you kill the Jackal. It's not really the most important operator at this phase in the game.
You know, we've got 30 seconds left. Those last 2 gas canisters could deny the plant here, but it's going to be tight. There are yokai drones as well in play. 2 yokai drones, in fact, and those also could deny. I'm guessing forZe is going to need to rush if they want to win this. Here's the plant. First yokai drone. It's not spotted by Pasha. He's going to bring out the gadget. He'll see it, have to rush in. Oh, really bad timing here. Oh, but they win it anyway. WTG, great cover on the long angle, and Pasha wins it with a pistol onto Blaz. Not a whole lot of lethality coming out there from Penta.
I'm not sure why Blast went for the gunfight.
Don't know. He had another gas canister, or another yokai drone, I mean. So maybe he's just worried about the IQ. Well, it's done now. forZe 5-3. And it looks like they're really good at attacking.
Penta started so well.
I mean, we're second half, you know, different sides. Maybe that's the difference maker.
Yeah, that definitely is. And Penta usually, as I said before, not as efficient on their attacking side, but they were able to land three rounds. And, you know, 3-3 at the half on bank is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But here, now they're forced off of that basement after, you know, one time, second time. Like, okay, let's just change it to something else. We go to tellers, and forZe have a lot of soft potential. I mean, yeah, sure, they're not bringing a sledge or a buck, but I would expect at least a shockwave to be obviously on the ash here, so you can open up parts of the wall or the floorboard. But there should be someone else running breaching charges as well on forZe's side. So I'm really curious to see how they actually set this one up, as it looks like Penta will also have 2 players, at least, maybe 3 even, on this top floor in Janitor, and maybe a couple hatches opened up to allow for their drops. No, they're even going to reinforce the hatch open here.
All right, well, tellers. Different. Tellers Archives. Basement really wasn't working out for Penta, and here's the tricky thing. 2 defenses lost on the basement means that you really aren't going to have a... Okay, Penta are playing for overtime at this point. Right? Not on match point just yet, but they are playing for overtime, long run. And they have to be successful on tellers if they want to have any hope. That's an aggressive play for whoever that is inside of stock. It's enemy on Alibi. He's just chilling. That's a glitch. It's a spectator bug. Gotta be. Definitely. He's starting his career as a professional juggler, and meanwhile killing Kama in the process. Rask looking for the refrag. He gets it. Actually, no, he doesn't. That's just timing. Ravon is taking out Pasha elsewhere, which means that we still have enemy alive inside of stock. Rask narrowly missing that shot, and it's going to cost his team in the long run. He's looking for the follow-up. There it is, but he can't land the shot still. Finally, WTG manages to shut him down, but it's actually going to be 2 for him as well, as he gets Ravon on the other side of Square.
This is what I love. The Ash is running breaching charges as well, so this is something that you can be happy with for forZe, but they have to clear the 2 players that are now playing here for Penta on this top floor. They'll be able to spot the smoke and know that he's in Janitor, but he can fall back at any point in time and rejoin the fight down on the site itself. Rask not confused by the Alibi, as the hollow there is just seen, and I already know she's dead. The smoke will be spotted from behind, so this will allow Rask to kind of pressure in from an opposite angle, and this forces the smoke back. Hungry should have some utility left for the final defense.
That's great awareness from Hungry. He didn't even wait for the flashbang to detonate. He heard it hit the wall, and he's like, bye. He knew that he just needed to delay, and he did just that. Good job to Hungry. Good information gathering there. WTG has really been putting it together for his team so far through this match, and he knows that there's someone upstairs, obviously thanks to a call. And it's going to be, I believe, Janix, if I'm not mistaken. Could be anybody. Hard to tell from the silhouette. No, not Janix. Janix is in sight. That is Blaz upstairs on the castle, looking to delay this push as much as possible. His position, he might not even be known. Hungary downstairs goes down to Rask using an angle. And that was pre-made. WTG planting, and it doesn't look like anyone can deny his plant right now, as the last 2 defenders are in the opposite site. Impact comes out, but it doesn't work out like it did for forZe. WTG gets his 4th, and is that... No. That's his 4th. The final kill for forZe. Rask managed to get the kill through the floor earlier. We just watched that. Great job there for forZe. Nice 4K for WTG.
That's 1 round away.
Yeah, it's match point.
That's it.
Boy.
We went from a 3-1 to a 3-3 to a 3-6.
Gassan, I gotta say, I thought we were gonna get a map 3.
But it's not looking that possible. A reminder for everybody watching at home, you're used to Pro League, you're used to watching best of ones that end in a 6-6. Not the case here. If you get to 6-6, you go to overtime. This is a bit of a prova before we go to the finals of Pro League Season 10 in Tokoname, Japan in only a week's time. I can't even believe it. We're going to go to Japan.
It's pretty exciting, yeah.
Crap.
Gassan, we've only been here for 3.5 hours.
Attackers need
Yeah.
to locate and
We-
defuse
this-
as many
yeah.
bombs as they can.
Holy crap, really?
Is it 2 best of 3s today, guys? And this has been really fast.
This was the
Attackers
longest
have
one of
located
these
a bomb.
games.
This right now is the longest game of the day. And we, as casters, after casting the first matchup and now going into this one, we've only been here for not even 3.5 hours. 5 minutes shy of 3.5 hours, which is just, wow.
It just might be done by 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a short work day today. Go home.
Don't
chillax,
expect that. You don't expect.
prepare.
Remember Relegations last season?
Oh my
10
god.
seconds
So long.
remaining.
Oh my god. Well, we're going to be here all weekend
5 seconds
long.
to go.
at
That's me
least.
and you, buddy.
There you go. So tomorrow night we're going to have North America starting off at the usual time at 2 a.m. CET. So for you guys in North America watching, it's 8 p.m. Eastern. And for Latin America as well, it's at midnight here our time in Europe, CET. Again, we are off of summertime. The sun,
Goes away at 4:30 in the afternoon.
and then cold sets in, and then really weird smells of stuff burning in Katowice.
Fours. Match point. Series point. 1 round away. Potentially 2 minutes, 23 seconds away from Pro League.
Yeah, it's that crazy. It really is just a massive bit of stress on your back. They went through, they qualified to Challenger League, they made it to the semifinals of the Raleigh Major, and fours are at the on the cusp of qualifying for next season's Pro League.
Ron suffering there from a little bit of a pre-fire there through the barricade.
A bomb has been
He
located.
clearly is in. There's nobody droning. That's weird because there's nobody droning this guy right now. Or there's nobody droning Ravon downstairs. I didn't see any drones anyway in terms of silhouettes. So good information gathering, I guess, in the prep phase from fours.
I'm not sure. You know,
Sure. Yeah. Oh, push out there into the hallway. Janix will punish Rask for a really brazen position. I don't really know what he was trying to do there. He didn't even peek the hallway. He just ran out. He's like, oh, this is clear. Nope. A refrag there from Pasha, though. Enemy goes down.
taking down enemy. Shockwave on the reverse repel potentially here. Pasha's already entered the
Oh, no.
site and
Oh.
do work. There we go. Hungary's looking the wrong way, but Blast will find Kama. Now Pasha looking for extra gunfights. He gets one more, but Blast collected two. It's a 3K here for Pasha as he is just doing the tour to bank.
Did he not see him?
Oh my god! Pasha with one more! And he's looking for Ravon, the last man alive, the Nitro Cell. That's the thing that Ravon will have to worry about. The first player to get damaged in this round and be the last hope. They're going to scan around for him, and perfect positioning here on top of the desk to go for the plant. Shockwave is safe. Nitro Cell used. Pasha firing back as he dropped down on the floor. Shockwave, last alive. 35 HP here for him. He's going to be watching. The pulse is heard. He'll get the information. His shot is down. Shockwave finishes off the round, and the man that transferred over from Team Empire will be the one facilitating forZe's play in their entry into Pro League. Congratulations. For once in the history of Pro League, we will have 2 Russian teams in our league. It means that the top 2 teams in the region will also be playing in PL. It's pretty huge.
Well played to fours. We only saw Shockwave get 2 kills, actually. That they were at the very end there. Those last 2 kills.
This is off of the rehost, by the way.
The last 2 kills were Shockwaves. And yeah, it was off of the rehost. So the first, what was it, 4 rounds were...
Yeah.
Yeah, the first 4 rounds were in a different set of stats. So we'll collect those ourselves. But the performance there from fours, really, you got to respect it. Sad to see Penta go. Lots of big names on that roster. And I wonder what's going to happen to them for sure.
I hope they stick together through Challenger League, and if not, I'm pretty sure that we might see some of these names on different teams in the near future.
Yeah, a lot of those names will get picked up real quick. Assuming that's the course of action they decide to commit to.
You don't know.
We don't
We're
know.
just speculating.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see what happens. But yeah, that's a big thing because again, these seasons 6 months long. You get relegated to Challenger League. It is hard to commit to a team for 6 months not in Pro League. Look at Team Secret. Team Secret, they held together after they got relegated. They're strong. They're a great team, amazing team. They're not even in these matches right now, man.
This is a EU. Like, this is how tight it gets.
Well, it's tight everywhere, but my point is it's rough to stay in Challenger League for that long. Like, it really does feel like you got put into a corner.
Yeah.
Like relegations, you do really get relegated if you're put into Challenger League. So it can be rough, and not every team will survive that transition.
And, we still have to see what happens with North America and Latin America that's coming up in the next couple of days. Of course, both of us are casting all of this.
North America next, right?
North America next,
Tomorrow.
yes. Susquehanna Sonics and Rogue defend their spots in Pro League. They're playing against Obey Alliance in Two-Faced.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've been checking around and seeing what has gone down in NA Challenger League, then you'll be familiar with all that we're talking about. You should be ready for that tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, at 2 a.m. for us here in the EU. So that's what we're looking for. We're not sure if there's going to be an interview or not, so we're waiting for producers. That's why you see us rambling on.
Yeah, I mean, these, it's you just got in, right? They're not used to the interviews yet.
Yeah.
Give them some time. It's fine.
It's okay.
They'll get a hang of it.
Yeah.
Panix is used to it. He's been in the interviews before.
Panix has been in many, many interviews in the past, either on stage or here in the studio. So we welcome our two new teams into Pro League, BDS and forZe.
No.
They're in.
Which means we lose Sisu and Penta, which is pretty momentous.
Penta has been around as a name in Pro Rainbow Six for ages.
Same with Sisu. Both teams. Really just, again, household names. The way I would describe them. If you've been following Rainbow Six Esports, at least in the European scene, for even a little while, you'll know both of them. And it is sad to see them go.
Yep.
Certainly.
Well, we have an interview with the new. It's Pasha.
Hello.
Tovarzysz Pavel, how are you doing tonight? Congratulations on your
I'm doing
victory.
great. Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
So you guys are at a team house right now?
Yeah, we're on bootcamp in Moscow.
Oh, very, very nice. It must be a bit cold nowadays. It's starting to get cold in Moscow,
Yeah, it's
that's for
actually
sure.
cold. Yeah.
So, you definitely have warmed up in this matchup. You started off on border 7-1. You had control over the match pretty much the entire time. Was there anything that Penta were bringing out on border, just to go through this, that would have scared you? Should it have been brought out or not?
Honestly, we knew that Penta isn't so good on border, so maybe that's the main reason why we picked border. And they haven't showed us like any features or something on border, so it was not so hard, I guess.
Yeah, understandable. Happy teammates. Congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations, Kama.
Thank you.
Thank you, he said.
That's Kama for
Yeah,
everybody
that's
watching
Kama.
at home. So there you go. Again, you guys have had an excellent year. I want to say you qualified to Challenger League. You come out at second from it, sure, but you go to semifinals of Rally Major, demolishing everybody's predictions pretty much, and now you're in Pro League. It's the first time that we get to see two Russian teams that are participating in Pro League. First time in our history for the past 3.5 years. I want to say, Map 2 Bank got way too close for comfort. In the beginning, Penta really had your number, and it seemed like you guys were struggling to defend the bottom site in CCTV. What was Penta bringing that you just couldn't deal with?
Actually, we played this defense with Rome like few times on Scream, and we haven't practiced it good. And maybe that's the reason why we couldn't rotate back to side when we was needed. And Penta was killing us on these rotates. So maybe that's the reason why we lost basement too much. I don't know.
It was difficult in the beginning, but you guys were able to fight it back. It seemed like Penta got a bit hopeless near the midway to the latter half of this matchup. Bank was just really a bit of an oddity looking at how map 1 was going. But that aside, you're finally in Pro League. It's been a while. How is this going to affect your lives now with actually having this massive opportunity and spawn in your lives?
I guess I'll stop my study and leave it and just play full-time in Rainbow Six.
What are you
Honestly,
studying
I
right
don't
now?
know. I'm studying in university.
But what is it in university?
Applied informatics, like IT.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
And now that will probably go by the wayside. It's unfortunate to hear, but hey, we have you in Pro League now, and we're very grateful to have new blood being injected into Pro League. You guys have had a pretty impressive end of this year here in 2019. What's your plans, though? What do you look forward to for 2020, and maybe some things on your path as a professional player?
We'll look for Pro League finals. Of course, it's the main goal. Of course, we'll try to qualify for invitationals. We got 2 chances, like Ogapit and Open Qualifier.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it. That's all. Maybe next major after invitational.
Who knows? There's still possibilities up in the air. If anything, one thing is confirmed: you'll be playing in Pro League Season 11. So, Pavel, you can't wait to see you playing in there. Congratulations again to the team and to the many fans that you've gained over the past few weeks. And Rally, anything you'd like to say to them before we finish this interview?
You mean for fans?
Yes.
Thank you for cheering for us. Thank you for for all the warm words you say to us. It's very helpful, and we'd like to see you cheer for us after this Pro League qualification. I mean.
What are you trying to show us there?
I don't know. That might be too toxic.
CL can?
Yeah, that's CL can, and that's Penta. Unfortunately, they're now there.
Fair enough. All right.
That's our strats, by the way. Yeah, that's how we play border.
Thank you very much. That's better. That's much better than Tank Ninja strats way back when in season 4 and 5 trying to qualify to higher up in Pro League. But Pasha, congratulations again for you and the team. We'll see you in Pro League season 11. Good night.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good night.
Bye-bye.
До свидания.